Good day and welcome to this special program on which we'll be looking at Freemasonry, particularly in this area, in the Berbice area. And I have with me Leon Williams, Gary Hall, and Christopher Matthias, and they're here to tell us what is being done to attract persons to Freemasonry, what exactly is Freemasonry, and how that will help this community here in Berbice. My name is Enrico Wolford. Welcome to the program, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gary, let me begin with you. Tell us exactly what Freemasonry is.
Well, Freemasonry, Enrico, is one of the oldest fraternities in the world. It has been around since the early 1700s. It premised its existence on some certain fundamental religious beliefs and the universality of God. It has, over the years, done a lot of charity and benevolent work universally. And Guyana has had Freemasonry here for at least 200 plus years. So we are here to continue that long tradition of providing relief and fraternal benefits to our fellow man.
And one of the things we'll be doing in the area this weekend is there's a testing period for persons who may be susceptible to prostate cancer. Leon, you want to give us an idea of what's going on there?
Well, there will be free testing for prostate cancer at Eureka Lab on, for instance, Elizabeth Road, which is next door to Berbice High School. And we are encouraging all men above the age of 50 to come out and to have the test done.
Why is it so important for men to do this kind of test?
Well, we recognize within the country that there are a number of males who are dying from prostate cancer. Mm-hmm. And of course, if we are to reduce the number of deaths from prostate cancer, we need to detect it early. And so that you can be treated and so forth. So we are encouraging you to come out and to ensure that you have testing done so that you can be screened. And if you are at high risk, you will be provided with necessary treatment and so forth.
You're from Berbice itself. How pervasive are illnesses and things like that, and how do people respond? Will people come out and want to be tested as part of this Freemasonry outreach?
Well, what I find, and now the male population, they are somewhat skeptical to coming out and doing testing. In fact, even visiting the doctor's office. So I'm encouraging you guys to come out and do the testing. Also, the number of friends and relatives that has died from prostate cancer in recent times. So it is indeed something that we need to bring under control. And so I'm pleading with you guys to come out and have the test done.
Let's bring Christopher Matthias into the conversation here. Chris, he said guys over 50. Is 50 a magic number with regard to prostate cancer screening, or you think that young men, persons of a certain age other than 50, let's say 40, should also try and see what is happening?
It has always been my view that once you touch the age of 40, that you should pay much more attention to your health and well-being. If I may add to what Leon would have earlier said, I think one of the fear about prostate cancer is the methodology of how it is being done. But with the advance of science and medicine, we're simply taking a blood test to establish exactly what is the possibility of you having prostate cancer in Berbice. I do share the view that even men at 40, once reach the age of 40, should be tested for prostate cancer. And so we're like Leon and Gary, we're encouraging all the persons in Berbice, all the males in Berbice, to come out and make sure that you have this testing done.
If I could go back to Gary for a second, Chris just mentioned there's lots of skepticism about prostate cancer and the methodologies which is done. In the same way, Freemasonry has some kind of cloud over it to some extent, and people will say, hey, you see, the Freemasons, they want to examine you. What are some of the myths, and how do we get rid of those myths and get people to understand that Freemasonry is more than myth?
Well, from time immemorial, it has always been regarded by conspiracy theorists that Freemasons are people who want to take over the world in some countries. The founding fathers of the U.S. were Freemasons. George Washington was a very famous Freemason. And Freemasonry has had because of its secrecy, and like every other organization that is private, and Freemasonry is just like any other organization. So the mysticism, there is no mysticism, so to speak, that is going to conflict with your morality. But like every other thing that people don't understand, they will put their own spin to it, and to have the so-called old wives' tale that we do certain things that may not be in keeping with the societal norms, and we practice or we worship some kind of our own God and stuff like that. But Freemasonry believes in the universality of God, so we accept the general belief in a God, whether you're Muslim or Hindu or Christian. We have people in society who are members of religious organizations, that are leaders in religious organizations, that are Freemasons. Priests, we have Hindu pandits who are Freemasons as well. So the issue of having this whole cloud above Freemasonry, it's not a religious organization. It's an organization that does good and tries to make good men better, and to bring relief to man in whatever way they're suffering. In this sense, that relief that we are taking to Berbice is an effort to not only help our fellow man, and mind you, this outreach is not limited just to men over 50. There's also, you can come once you're over 25, you can come and have a free medical checkup, do a dental check and so on. So while the main thrust is looking at the prevalence of detecting cancer, or the detection of prostate cancer, there's a general medical checkup that will be done for those of us who are not 50 and so on. So from once you're 25, you're encouraged to come out and do a free medical check. You never know, you may meet somebody who you know is a Freemason, and certainly our thing is we're not a religious organization, we're a social organization that is doing charitable work in the community.
So remind us again, Chris, where and when? And
well, it's in Berbice on Saturday at the Eureka Lab, and my Berbician friend knows the address much better than I do.
Right. So Leon,
well, it's at Princess Elizabeth Road, Eureka Lab. It is opposite Berbice High School. I'm looking forward to seeing you there.
Okay, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Remember to come out in your numbers on Saturday morning at Princess Elizabeth Road in Berbice at the Eureka Lab site there, and be part of the medical checkup as part of the outreach by the Freemason. And of course, it begins with Freemasonry begins with free, so it is free. So do come out. My name is Enrico Wolfer. Thank you very much for joining us.